going to show you what is stalking in the path by helicopter. You're able to recognize stalking very clearly. There's nothing that's vague about it, and recognize all the people of the state who are stalking. License 9LBX750, CGU 4826. That's Washington. License right up here in front of me. They were group stalking 70H 908, 9FIR525. That's California. They were stalking. They're right here, 91724R2. They all are, but I'm getting who's right in front of me because there's so many of them, and there are so many that are already going to federal prison. Okay, so I'm just getting the handful that's right around me. The entity's flying right in perfect alignment, and you're able to identify the scientific impossibility that the sun would be at 6 p.m. and still right now I'm still, you're looking at another landmark, for example Mandalay Bay, and let alone over the state of California. What is over my head at 1:17 p.m. when I'm on the freeway in California? What's over my head, at the top of my head? I specifically captured pictures at 1:18 p.m. at 225 Colorado Place in Arcadia at my hotel room, where the fake sun is over the top of my head. Oh, it's over the top of my head right now, but it's not in California. It's not the sun. It's not the natural environment. It's right here over me. That's how you are understanding what is stalking: targeting, psychological torture while a population is stalking you. Every license plate I just read is going to federal prison. This is what the entity is doing while I am headed back toward California, and it's to their own demise. Okay, the heads of all of these departments, they're going to be removed. And the entity that is stalking helicopter, that name is going to be produced. Demonic pacing, okay? That's another one, flying right over, group stalking with the people. The lawlessness, this is the mental illness, federal prison, 8RFM449, to their own demise. This is what they were doing while I'm fake at Courtyard by Marriott. This is exactly what they were doing, hovering in relevant position where I'm documenting the people of the state. The Nevada police are demon possessed. The whole the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, demon-possessed higher department, the whole department. This is exactly the mental illness that the Los Angeles Police Department exhibited when they were heavily documented group stalking under a fake sun that remained over Alvarado Gardens in There's no sun that's going to be over Las Vegas at all. And this is not at the same time through my sunroof in Nevada, over Los Angeles, the Alvarado Gardens apartments, over the top of my head, over the Arcadia hotel room number 130, because that's where it is at this time. Those are demons that are stalking, and they act with impunity. They engage in more terrorism as you out them, and that's the federal courts, the federal judge in the world is recognizing the public corruption underway in the state of Nevada. Okay, the entity is engaging in a very specific pattern of conduct, doing so with specific knowledge. Remember, they're all engaged in federal stalking as well. This is the same population that's terrorizing, molesting, while they know exactly who I am, under a fake sun. What is never coexisting, light is not ricocheting into and all around, just like you saw when they're driving on the grounds. There's no sun in Costa Mesa, okay, over Best Western, over the demons that are the Costa Mesa Police Department. So what is over my head right now when I'm in the state of Nevada? That's not the sun. The only thing that maintains ubiquitous presence over all of us and doesn't move no matter where you're going is the sky. That's it. This is very highly unintelligent. And the impunity that the state is engaging in with regard to group stalking, it is exposing the mental illness, the public safety concern, the threat to society, the infection that they are in the positions that they hold. I'm referencing all of the aforesaid departments that I already referenced, okay? And the entity is group stalking by, at the admission of the state actor, they call them guest helicopters or tourist helicopters. They're group stalking. And the departments themselves, Nevada State Police, they're stalking using helicopters. Okay, this is the textbook pattern of conduct by the corrupt law enforcement agencies. That's a demon stalking in the path with light activity. Nevada group stalking. Okay, and that's how you know, because the unnatural environment remains, and that's how you're identifying who the demons are targeting, because this is the identification of demons. All right, this is the entity that is group stalking, and the entity is doing so, remember, at 1:22 p.m. I wasn't even in California yet, and the fake sun was remaining over me en route to the state of Nevada. So you already know that, because when I'm maintaining my room in Arcadia, like I captured, there was no movement of the so-called sun. It remained right over the top of my head in this same manner while I'm in the state of California at 225 Colorado Place in Arcadia, California. What the entity is doing, it tells on each other. They're telling on all. The secret system is not a secret anymore. And based on the exposed secret, there are a lot of people who are going to federal prison for domestic terrorism, for what shall be recognized federal offenses: terrorism via directed light, sexual violence while engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring, and prosecuted as an exceedingly violent sex offense, being published and maintained by the DOJ as a terrorist in the United States. Okay? You will be limited with regard to what field you can work in. You will be limited with regard to where it is that you can live before people may object. It's their right. They don't want a sex offender living in their neighborhood. You won't be living there. You will not be receiving any state or federal aid anymore. The criminal record is going to follow you. You're in law enforcement. You will not be after I prosecute you. You will never have anything to do with law enforcement. You will not even be able to carry a weapon. Okay? This is what the entity is doing as a people, while they just provided evidence of the fact that not only are they engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring, they're demon-possessed and they're lawless demons. And they are currently in positions to murder people, okay? And then control the narrative about what actually happened. That's the lawlessness that you are aware of, you're cognizant of when they're openly stalking an American citizen who's documenting it. And you know that that was an intentional act of their own volition, communicating a threat, reasonably construed as such in the specific environment, while federal stalking is underway, to their own demise. You're not making any statement of bravery. You're not engaging in anything that's admirable. You're admitting that you're a sex-offending, demon-possessed stalker. There's nothing prouder or there's nothing courageous about that. You're talking about the character, the personality of Satan. Satan murders people. Satan sexually violates people. Satan is obsessed with those who he cannot have. This system is one of persecution, and it is the work of Satan. This is P.O.C. that's underway in Nevada. This is P.O.C. It's currently 1:24 p.m.